How nice to see you again, Mr. Dickens. Is it time for another of the Ghost Club stories?
As a matter of fact, yes. Follow me. Number 50, Berkeley Square. 4 stories high and branded, "Beware all those who enter." There have been many strange tales of this dreadful domicile. The earliest report of a haunting was said to be the spectre of a small girl who was murdered by a servant. She could be seen at the attic windows, weeping and wringing her little hands in an agony of despair.
I followed you. Hi.
I'm eager to be... Another legend claims the attic is haunted by the spirit of a young woman who purportedly threw herself from the top floor windows to escape her abusive uncle. Her screaming ghost has reportedly been sighted hanging from the window ledge. This residence was briefly owned by a Mr. James Jasper, a choir master and an opium addict. His nephew Edward was betrothed to one of Mr. Jasper's pupils, the fair and delicate Rose. However, Edward disappeared under mysterious circumstances, followed by Jasper himself. Perhaps grief sent him back to the soothing arms of his narcotic mistress.
Don't need to gallop there.
There you go.
No more of these stories. Or not, I think we've run out. That's the wrong button, I think. Good to learn how to control these things. I don't think there's any more stories, are there?
Slow down. That's it.
Full speed along this road on the wrong side.
Here now.
Just park in the middle of the road, no one will care or notice. Neither of those times. Oh my goodness, he's so giving us a dirty look. I can't believe you just stopped in the middle of the street. Come on, Dickens.
Shall we?
Where are we going? Are we going in here?
Though this house is vacant, some say it comes alive at night with screams of terror, ringing bells, and slamming shutters.
Having all these bright lights and having you with me, I was hoping this would be something along the lines of... Oh, I've forgotten the name of it, and I love it. It's one of my favourite levels. This thingy and thingy. Oh, the hotel! The hotel in Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. I've forgotten its name. That's so immensely disappointing. Hi, rats.
Although eerie, this phenomenon is easily produced by pneumatic tubes and valves. There are claims that a young man was caged in the attic, his only connection to the rest of the world a tiny hole in the door. A young man who was reduced to madness by this extreme isolation. The legends all seem to focus on one room in particular.
So, we're assuming this is a player piano? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any indication of pneumatic valves or whatnot. I've just realised we've gone from one extreme to the other, haven't we? We've gone from Mr. Conan Doyle, who would go on to be very much involved in the spiritual world, very much intrigued by it, and now we're debunking ghosts. Rocking.
A sudden draft. Nothing more.
Shall we close the window?
My word. Perhaps I shall wait here while you investigate the source of that laughter, which is not at all unsettling.
Okay. Now things are getting a bit spooky, I like that. I'm prepared to get jump scared. You won't let me inspect. Or by inspect, does it mean... Oh. Tackle one of the children. I can tackle. It's very child friendly. By the way, YouTube algorithms, that was sarcastic. Problems in the algorithms. Probably not a good sign. I don't think they're listening.
Let me go, you moke! Charming. Now tell me, why were you at that house?
What's it to you?
Out with it.
All right. We were there for the treasure. We found a key to the secret passage.
What secret passage?
Yeah, number 50's got a secret passage. Here, take it. Just leave me be.
For someone who doesn't like horror, I'm exceptionally disappointed. Like, you've built this up as, oh, ghosts, oh, there's probably ghosts, ooh. Nah, it's children just messing around. It's just horrifically disappointing. Alright, let's see what Mr. Dickens has to say.
I've found a lock, but I haven't located the key.
What a
It's here.
coincidence. This is the attic, eh?
Ha! So this is how it works.
Impressive.
Get out of my house!
Stand back, Charles.
I did it in my mind, and I did it over and over again.
There was no one whose love for Rosa came near to equaling mine. It should have been enough to keep my beloved nephew away. My poor Ned. Forgive.
Oh, nice. I'd like a bit more of the story, thank you. Maybe I did. Maybe I killed him too quick. Maybe I beat him too quickly. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't rely on players being inept. So. Let's try and work out what I think happened. Okay, let's actually loot him and see if there's any usable information. No, I didn't think so. So, if we assume, I assume, and I might be wrong, but I suspect that basically, yes, he was in love with. It was his nephew he kept away. So was it? So I don't think it'd be his daughter. Was it his sister? And he was worried that his nephew was kind of stealing her away. Just a little conclusion to that phone call from before. Yeah, stuff to do with that. He was just informing me of what's going on. Right. Oh, we're visiting Dickens. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how the plot of this little mission will go. I assume Dickens will inform us. What's through here? Oh, I thought this is another part of the house.
Alas, the myth has been discredited. There was no ghost in Berkeley Square, just a wretched soul, driven to murder and madness by guilt and intoxication. I think this is the makings of a rather fine novel. I wonder if I've got one left in me.
Is that Edwin Drood? Read that. I've not read a lot of his stuff. I've read a lot of his I've read a few of his ghost stories. which are, I must confess, a bit off and a bit weird. I say off, it's a bit harsh, but not as I would have assumed them to be. I went a skill point. Woo! Skill point. 9 available. Why do I have 9 available? Let's have a nosy at the ones over here I was interested in. Oh, I can't drive. Alas. Stealth. Oh, I have 9 skill points. You said 9 skill points. Or is that including Jacob? That's annoying. But some of his ghost stories are a bit weird. As in, there's one where a lawyer moves into a new apartment, and as he's kind of getting ready, he's moved in his furniture, and he as he settles down, a ghostly apparition appears to him. It moans and wails and informs him of all the horror and tragedy that has occurred to him in that house, in that apartment. It tells him that his wife had left him and told him in that house, and she'd had I don't know, I'm saying she had affairs, I don't know, she may not have done. I may be just bringing her name into disrepute, which would be exceptionally unfair. For a fictional character. And how he'd been informed of being fired from his job in that very room, and all these horrible things. And the lawyer just turns to him and says, if it's got so many horrible memories for you, why do you stay here? Why don't you go somewhere nice like a beach in the Caribbean? And the ghost turns to him and says, I'd never thought of that, and then disappears and goes to the Caribbean. Which is a bit of a weird story. Which I assume that's just the way I tell him. There's a few weird ones he's got in the ones I've read. Christmas Carol is probably the best, I would say. This Signalman is good. Signalman's very good. Go and find that one, that is actually quite good. Okay. There's also, what's the other one? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But there's one where there's a young man, he's taken over this apartment, he's brought in some of his furniture, but it's not a lot of furniture, it's not that good, because he's a poor young man. And one night he's wandering around, and he goes to the wrong room. But his key unlocks it, so he goes in, he sees all this furniture, it's not being used. I mean, this room isn't owned by anyone, everything's dusty. So, oh dear. And so he starts taking it. So he takes a few pieces that night, and the next night he takes a few pieces more, and the next night he takes a few pieces more, and so on. And about a week later, after he's finished, a drunk man comes into his room and looks around and goes, "Oi! This looks like my stuff." The young man's a little bit perturbed. This wasn't owned by anyone. The room wasn't in use. He apologizes profusely to the man. Well, if nothing's happening, and he apologizes profusely. He's like, well, I mean, I didn't realize, the room didn't look used. Oh, well, it was my room, says the drunk. And so the young man promises, I think it's a little late to be going and picking stuff up, dropping stuff off now and delivering it. So how about in the morning, when kind of you're sober and you can help, you come up to me tomorrow morning. We'll put this down to a misunderstanding. I thought it was a spare room, storage, stuff left over. But if it is yours, come in the morning and we'll go and take it down together. And we'll work together and put it all back. And I apologise. And the drunk man, very gracious of you, sir, and leaves the room. And was never seen again. Ooh! Not really one of the best, you would say. They're all a bit weird like that. Where it's like, that's a ghost story? It's a story of the ghost in, but I think I think the thing is, ghost stories have a very different... Okay, it didn't work.
There she is!
I have a question.
Someone get him up here!
Am I having to kill two of them? I've been drugged. Okay, I'm gonna run. We managed to deal with these fellows. 67 combo. Rather exciting. I'm just checking they're alright, officers. Where's the other fellow? Oh, there he is. Just making sure they're okay, checking identity. Maybe we can find out who they are. It's a bit... Okay, I don't think these guys were the messenger, were they? Oh. Huh. Right, well, Dickens is in there. I was going to kind of grab him now and do his mission, but I might actually leave it. And next time we'll do his mission, wander down the Mall, get to Buckhouse, get the viewpoint, probably do some other things, then go and visit Mr. Singh. There might be some other things actually around Buckhouse that might be interesting. But yes, I think that's a good place to put a curtain in theory. As in, this is a sensible time, and I don't know how long that mission's going to take. I'm heading south, aren't I? I'm looking south, because that'll be the clock tower. At this point, probably called St. Stephen's Tower. I don't think it's the clock tower for a while, and then it'll become Elizabeth Tower, although colloquially known as Big Ben, because that's the name of the bell. I don't know where I am. I mean, I say that. I know I'm north of Westminster. The palaces thereof. I think we'll faff about a bit later and leave it. Next time... Oh, there's the railway bridge. Is it? There's a railway bridge. Right. Yes. Next time, more Dickens. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.